So, old man Brady called it quits. That's it. No more TB12 in the NFL. And he really did spite Adam Schefter on this one. He said, "No, Adam, I will be announcing my retirement this year. Not you." But in all seriousness, though, Tom Brady is retired, and he had a very, very long career. Longer than I've been alive, actually. With that all being said, though, this poses the question: what the hell is going to fill in the quarterback-shaped hole in the Tampa Bay offense? I think it's safe to say all of us are kind of a little saddened by Tom Brady's retirement. I mean, he was the villain of football. He was the one guy we didn't want getting anywhere near the playoffs or the Super Bowl just because we were afraid of what he could do. But let's be honest, that offense was lethargic this year. Like, it was absolutely horrendous. And it's time we see what the broken glass is when it comes to the backup plan without Brady for the Buccaneers. They drafted Kyle Trask 2 years ago, and I honestly forgot he was even a quarterback in the NFL. So I don't think that is the answer to replacing Tom Brady. And I don't think you do replace Tom Brady in this offense, in this system, in general in the NFL. But someone's got to take a stab at it. So here are some notable free agents who I think could step in for the Buccaneers at quarterback. The first and the most likely one off my list is Jimmy Garoppolo. To me, Jimmy G just kind of seems like the right guy for the answer, you know, like the backup to Brady in New England comes into the Buccaneers and helps them get through a year or two. I mean, I think he is better than everybody else on this free agent list besides Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm putting Lamar Jackson a little bit lower on this list because, well, Lamar is most likely going to get re-signed by the Ravens. But if he doesn't get re-signed by the Ravens, I don't think the Buccaneers are going to offer him this massive deal to get him over there and entice him. Same thing goes with the likes of Daniel Jones. I know he is another free agent this year, but I think he will get re-signed by the Giants. So that leaves some notable others besides Jimmy Garoppolo: Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr. And I'm saying Derek Carr is a free agent because he is most likely going to get cut by the Raiders before they trade him. Ryan Tannehill's values kind of tanked this year. He suffered a lot of injuries, and he kind of seemed like a veteran quarterback that could step into that role as well. Baker Mayfield is another one, even though I don't know if he is going to be considered a number one anymore after his stint in Carolina. And I really think he needs a schematic coach behind him, like a Sean McVay. I think that those two pair perfectly. And I think Baker Mayfield will be a continual backup. Even the likes of Jameis Winston, you know, obviously it'd be kind of funny. He goes to the Saints, comes back to the Bucs. I don't know if, you know, obviously his whole situation in New Orleans has gone completely awry. Like, it's just a mess. Yeah, it's a confusing mess on why Andy Dalton continued to start in NOLA. But I think he's another option in terms of a quarterback coming in a veteran presence in the locker room. That leaves the second option. I think the plan B is drafting another young quarterback. Now, this quarterback class is completely, very much skyrocketing much better than the last quarterback class we had last year during the draft. Now, jarring any big moves made by the Buccaneers with some really big stars, I don't think they get their hands on either Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and barely on Will Levis. I think realistically, if they're going to draft a quarterback and they're going to do it in the first round, it's going to be AR-15. Anthony Richardson, the University of Florida quarterback, is considered a very high draft prospect and has a lot of potential in the NFL, but he's also considered a very project and raw talent. So when you look at someone like Chicago, who's got that first overall pick, I mean, I would expect, if this is in my head, that the Buccaneers would trade like Mike Evans or Chris Godwin to the Bears, and then they'd get that first pick. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. I doubt the Bears are gonna go out and just dish that away. I feel like they're going to improve their defense one way or another with that. So I don't see the Bears moving on from that. When you look at the actual draft sort of order in front of the Buccaneers, a lot of the teams don't really need a quarterback besides one being the Commanders. And I think they can be the one to steal AR-15 away from the Buccaneers if AR-15 is going to fall that low, because they have the 19th overall pick. And it'd be a very Washington thing to do, to draft the project quarterback when you don't even have your starting quarterback figured out. I'm getting a lot of RG3 vibes when I think about, you know, Anthony Richardson in a Washington Commanders jersey. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying here? So by the miracle of God, if the Buccaneers somehow are at the draft spot submitting the pick and Anthony Richardson is still off the board, then I think they go for him and they get someone like a Jimmy Garoppolo, like a Derek Carr, like a Ryan Tannehill, somebody who is a veteran presence who can be that bridge quarterback for Richardson. And I think, I mean, what more could you ask for? You got some great receivers in Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, Mike Evans, and the running game is only going to get better with Rashad White as the lead back, whether or not Fournette comes back. I mean, the defense could lose a couple pieces in this offseason, but that defensive unit as a whole with Todd Bowles is still a very, very good defensive unit. And let alone the NFC South is just a dumpster fire right now when it comes to talent. So maybe when it comes to AR-15 in say 2-3 years, if none of these teams have improved in any way significantly, he can have a very good shot of winning that division. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's next for the Buccaneers in terms of the quarterback situation. Obviously, this is going to be the talking point throughout the whole offseason. I mean, we are not even at the Super Bowl yet. We're already talking about who's going to be the next quarterback for who and everything like that. So we will see how this free agent market pans out. I mean, the most likely thing for me in terms of just flat out just saying what I think is going to happen is that they bring someone like Garoppolo in, you know, and then they draft a young quarterback, whether that's in the first round. It doesn't have to be Anthony Richardson, but it can be any of the other young quarterbacks because there's a plethora of quarterbacks coming into this draft. So there can definitely be some diamonds in the rough. It doesn't have to be a first round pick. But I'm just saying, out of the thought process that AR-15 falls that low, which I doubt he's going to fall in on the 20th, I definitely could see the Buccaneers going and grabbing him. I mean, you sign someone like a Jimmy Garoppolo to like a 2-year, $5 million fully guaranteed deal, something like that, something like he got in San Francisco. He's going to be the quarterback for 2 years, and then you move on from him. So, and then you bring in the young quarterback. He's done it before. He's done a very good job at it. He handled the Trey Lance situation very well. So we will see what happens when it comes to the Buccaneers and their quarterback. But man, am I going to be the one that kind of misses Tom Brady? Like misses his little antics, like his slide tackle during the playoffs this year? That was hilarious. I mean, you got to be honest. Tom Brady's full of fun moments, so it's definitely going to be weird to see him in the booth at Fox. I mean, and the old guy got his bag. I mean, my God, $300 million, 10 years, fully guaranteed. I mean, he fleeced Fox. So it's interesting to see how he's going to break down plays, you know, next to whether it's Greg Olsen or Kevin Burkhardt. So we'll see. But with all that being said, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Who's going to be the quarterback for the Bucs? Who's going to do it? Is it going to be Jameis Winston? Is it going to be Derek Carr? Is it going to be Jimmy Garoppolo? Is it going to be a rookie? Is it going to be somebody we don't know? Is it going to be somebody in the draft that we have no idea expected? Is it going to be Jake Camarda? I don't know. But if you guys do me a favor and hit subscribe on this channel, we're going to try uploading a little bit more on this channel. Obviously, more content like this so we can pop out and stuff like that. We're with you the whole offseason. And go hit the link in our description to our blog where we post almost daily on our blog, just newly articles and stuff like that, based on our opinions on the just free agency market currently, where star players are going to end up, what's next for certain teams and quarterbacks. We have that series coming out pretty soon. And yeah, it's been Josh here at S.H.T Sports. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace and stay safe.